Hey people, Ingrid here. 3v3 faction war. This is Angstrom Heights and Imperial Guard versus Space Marines. Blue Guard team, Bruce Campbell's here with a Lord Commissar. Strong offense and support. Fighting in melee begins with a refractor shield. Looks like the Talon Desert Raiders elite scheme. Alongside the Tenso's Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. And rounding off the team, Uncle Taxfraud is a Lord General. Fighting in ranged combat begins with a retinue of stormtroopers. Really strong defense and support can also add to the retinue. Looks like the Catachan's elite scheme here. Red Space Marines, oLev as a force commander, very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support Ultramarines DLC. And a couple of Techmarines. You have Demon with some Imperial fists running from the Inquisitor and her Inquisition. Big special there. Here comes a force commander though to help out. And Zeno with some Dark Angels. These guys start off with a bolt gun, put out some good damage. Can also support with structures and repair. That guy retreats. Inquisitor needs to be careful here. Tax are showing up. Yeah, she runs off. Force commander can now try to push through the mid with some bolt gun support from Tactical Marines and that Techmarine. Techmarine will really help put pressure on the Sentinel alongside Kraken Bolts. Tax, as you see there, Kraken Bolts does extra damage to heavy infantry armor, which is what the Sentinels have. So you may see some double tax popping up. oLev gets some more scouts, more guardsmen for Bruce and for Uncle Taxfraud. Force commander leads to line, some good splitting and shooting by Uncle Taxfraud. A bunch of las guns gets them to leave. Fast capping Tax. Grab the mid though. Natural in the north for Space Marines. Looks like it got decapped. And a natural in the east for the Imperial Guard. Maybe it was the Lord General who ran forward and got it. Or their Sentinel maybe. Speaking of Sentinels, here is Bruce Campbell's. Up against Tactical Marines who pop their Kraken Bolts, and the Tech Marine backs off a bit. I think they can out repair it though with double guardsmen. Only barely though, and that's not the attacks aren't even shooting anymore. That's just the Tech Marines DPS. I don't think they could out repair it if the attacks were shooting, especially if Kraken Bolts was up. Here they come. Here they come to shoot. We'll see if they can out repair it. I don't think they can. Yeah, you see Bruce Campbell backing it off a bit. Making them, well, trying to make them overextend. The Tech Marine of Demon is quite low, needs to be careful. Wants to find some heavy cover. Those barrels are only light cover. Some repairs going in. The Tenso looking for a target. Lord Commissar needs to tie some stuff up. Devastators on the field for both of those Tech Marine players. oLev though with Assault Squad on the field. Catachans for the Tenso will help disrupt and mess up these Devastators who are a setup team. Need to set up that big heavy bolter before they can fire. Just saw Hammer of the Witches to get in there. Rosarius up for the Inquisitor too. Any other war gear? Yes, Carapace armor's up. Nice health and health regen, and gives some improvements to Inspire Courage. Reduces energy and cooldown, and gives him some buffs when he uses it. It's a pretty nice piece of war gear, does a lot for him. Artillery spotters on the way for Bruce to help against these Devastators. Sentinel has just got around the back to cut out that heavy cover and is blasting away. These guys using the map to get around here quite nicely. Yeah, I don't think you can put the Devastators down here again because they're just going to get flanked like that. Zeno may have not been aware that this was pathable area down here. Don't see it used very often. 444 to 463 on the VPs. Northeast, those Tax just got stomped. We see grenade launchers up for the Lord General. Actually some good damage to Tactical Marines, especially if you can fire on them as they're bunched up. You can see each one doing a decent little chunk of damage. It would do even more if they were all getting hit by each grenade, but as you can see, both Derek and Nigel both get their own grenade launcher. Here comes an Assault Squad though. Bad news for the Lord General. Might need some Catachans to help deal with those guys. Sentinel backs off. We have scouts with a sergeant so they can spot infiltrated things and chuck a grenade. The Tax did drop a model there to those grenade launchers and las guns. Back down towards the southwest here. Natural power for the Space Marines. They're trying to put the torrential turret up. Catachans said no with their grenade launcher. Multi-laser turrets up as well. Spotters get a good shell on the Devastators, but the Commissar didn't go in to tie them up because of the Tarantula turret being here. And they've got their power sword. Fantastic weapon. Our melee DPS with lead by example. Basically a better version of the Force Commander's Battle Cry starter special. Starter ability, I should say. Catachan's a bit dicey here. They do have power melee knives. So ordinarily they tear apart tactical marines, I believe, in melee, but they were a bit low there, and a Techmarine was shooting at them. Hammer of the Witches can't quite get a model there. Throws up their Azarius to help escape, but they might need to retreat anyway. Tons of Space Marine Ducker over here, double Devastators, and the Tarantula turret, and Marines, and the Techmarine, and Scouts. Devastators are all split up because of the artillery shell coming in, the mortar shell. Tax now have a Flamer. They'll make very short work of this turret, very short work of the Guardsmen as well, especially if they're caught in cover, because Flamers do extra bonus damage to units in cover or in garrisons. Help them be aggressive. They can just run up to stuff and burn it out. And of course, pressure the power now with that Flamer. It wasn't always the case that Flamer weapons were effective against generators. Back in the very, very early days, it was changed to help Flamers have a bit more of a niche in the game, because they typically weren't purchased. Catachans, could they get into melee with the tactical marines? I think they were going for it. There was Hammer of the Witches as well, and those Tax needed to run. And the oLev just sends these guys flying into that barricade, into that wall there. Another multi-laser turret up. Double cap here for the Space Marines, though. Double Assault Marines for oLev. I was not expecting that. Oh, they can actually pass through this bit. That's cool. I thought that was all artificially blocked off by invisible walls kind of thing. Guardsmen need to cap the VP back, because a Sentinel can decap points, but it can't cap them. So what do you do against double Assault Marines in Tier 1 as the Guard? Double Catachans. Double Sentinels to stomp them out. Or do you just wait Tier 2, get Ogryns and Chimeras and stuff? Ogryns and a Primaris Psyker maybe. They'll probably jump on the Psyker, have the Ogryns nearby, throw up the telekinetic dome, and get to work, and then probably run away with your Psyker. Catachans get a shotgun blast, but then need to leave. And we have Flamer Guardsmen here. Artillery spotters are being quite annoying for Zeno to deal with. It is a whirlwind on the way for Demon. They have some Stern Guard veterans using their Hellfire acid rounds at the moment. That's bad news for all those Guardsmen. Does damage over time to light infantry and heroes. They did lose their Scouts along the way though. Speaking of Scouts, it has grabbed the mid. And we have the Lord General getting a cheeky decap on the Space Marines Natural. Assault Squad not happy with this, but I'm not sure if they can stop it. They're busy chopping up Guardsmen at the moment. Didn't finish the cap, but gets a decent hit there with the grenade launchers. Retreat grenade. Nicely placed. Did not kill that Guardsman squad though. How did they get away? There's another attempt. It was too late though. I thought that for sure. Oh, Sentinel goes down trying to get close to those Devastators. I thought for sure those guys were going to wipe on that grenade. It seemed to be really well placed, but I guess not well enough. Zeno with a Dreadnought on the way, most likely with assault cannon barrages. Sneaky Stormtroopers being sneaky alongside that Catachan shotgun blast to get that burst of those hotshot lasguns. Inquisitor gets in, stabs one to death, and they run. Techmarine still in play, gets Hammer of the Witched. Well, Commissar is in base turret range right now. Speaking of turrets, is this the same one? I think it's going to go down now to these flamers they got around it. Yep, down it goes. Techmarine tried to come in and repair it. Probably, maybe. Should have just tried to run into melee and tie them up. Here comes a Dreadnought, speaking of melee. Starts off as a melee walker, but as we can see, instantly going to get in the assault cannon up. It's got this off-white-ish colour because it's a Dark Angel Dreadnought with the DLC. Down goes the Sentinel. Did have missile launcher on it as well. Assault cannon will rip apart a Sentinel. So much single target anti-infantry damage. Ogryns are up, and the Force Commander has gone for Power Sword, Artificer, and Sacred Standard for huge area of effect buffs going on. Constant buff from the Standard, and an improved buff from the Battle Cry. Not sure exactly how they stack up, but it'll all stack up and be cool. Primaris Psychers on the field for both Bruce and the Tenso. Here he is, with that awesome area of effect basic psychic attack. 3-2-2 to 4-1-2 on the VPs. How do they approach this Dreadnought here? Where are the Ogryns? They're coming out of base. Oh, Techmarine went down. They might just run up on this thing with the Ogryns. Could get some anti-armor stormtroopers maybe. Uncle Taxfraud has some up. There's a barrage from the assault cannon. Absolutely terrifying for those guardsmen. They were trying to get a cheeky power bash in there. Inferno pistol up from the Inquisitor. Good damage to all targets from relatively short range. Will help do some damage to that Dreadnought at least. Did the Catechins just wipe there? I think some Catechins might have just wiped. Sentinel here, getting a missile launcher. Ogryns trying to get in there on the Dreadnought, but it's being covered by Devastators now. There's that Psychic getting some shots in. Telekinetic Dome goes up. Does it help you against ranged attacks? Maybe it does. I thought it was just buffing melee stuff, but maybe it was changed and I forgot. Oh, that missile barrage hit the pillar there. That was unfortunate for that Sentinel. Lord Commissar's too close to death. Runs away. 298 to 399. oLev with double assault squads coming in. We do have some plasmas up on the guardsmen. Yeah, we do. They were too close there. They're not sure why they ran up. Merciless strike in there. Ogryn still standing and trading though. Lord General has to run. Assault squad got messed up there, but here's another one. And Ogryns are eventually dealt with. They stood up quite well there though. Those guys are all buffed by the Sacred Standard and stuff. Ethereal Wave knocks over some Stern Guard. That's something the Primaris Psychic can do for you. Inquisitor getting some decent shots in the Dreadnought. Did take some damage there. But this is quite shrewd from Bruce Campbell, getting these power bashes. Anytime they can get in here, they're doing it with Flamers. Forced to retreat here. Stern Guard switching back to Hellfire. They probably had their Kraken bolts in to shoot at the heroes. Anti-armor stormtroopers looking for a sneaky flank. Could go for the Whirlwind or the Dreadnought. 298 to 359. Heavy turret is up, taking some melee hits. It does have vehicle armor, so they're not going to take it down quickly. Tactical Marines are in danger of falling. 3 hit points, 2 hit points, down they go. That's a wipe. Those were oLevs, who goes tier 3. Demon already tier 3, and Zeno's also gone tier 3. Decent missile shot there from the Sentinel, using crack missiles against vehicles. Oh, these guys are just bashing power, fair enough. Lord Commissar able to get in on the Devastators as well. Sentinel needs to be careful. That was a hunter killer missile shot. Inquisitor, what's she up to? Going after the scouts, I think. Lord Commissar pushing really hard, and they got a full bash off that. That was pretty nice. It's just too much for the Stern Guard to take on. Shotgun blast, Primaris Psyker attacks. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for Demon. What is this? It's a big old shotgun blast is what it is. Assault squad down to 2 models, but they're jumping in. They are jumping in. Whirlwind doing some good disruption. Ogryn's there to counter-initiate. Nicely timed merciless strike, but they might need to run. Yeah, they need to run. Here's the Force Commander. Pops the battle cry to get some disruption in. But probably needs to run after that. Have some stormtroopers here for Uncle Taxfraud. And they have Flak Jacket to reduce incoming damage. Nice to have if they can stand beside their Ogryns and activate it. Especially. These guys still looking for power bashers, but they found a Dreadnought that time. Tier 3 for Bruce Campbell. There's that Primaris Psyker. I wish it put the upgrades in the unit card there. I don't know what upgrades they have, if they have any. No plus indicator, nothing. 298 to 232. Triple cap here. For the guard, barrage is dodged. I think it has a relatively long cooldown, the barrage. Interestingly, the Space Marines have the northeastern power. Barely, the node is just clinging on there. Anti-armor stormtroopers looking for the melter bomb. There it is. Now they can open up with melter guns. It is getting repaired, and here comes a Land Raider Redeemer as well. Some good pressure on the Dreadnought though. It will take time to repair it. Do the Catechins have their Sarge? The Catechins do have their Sarge. The Sarge gets a melter gun of his own. Yeah, does some good damage there on the Dreadnought. Land Raider Redeemer comes in, almost wipes out the Stormtroopers. This thing has twin assault cannon, flame storm cannons, and a multi-melter on top. Not to mention, you can retreat back to it, reinforce off it, and heal off it. It will probably park itself in the mid somewhere. Orbital bombardment coming in. Uh-oh. They're going to retreat right into it. What level are these guys? Level 2, will they survive it? I think they'll survive it. I think they're far enough away from the central beam, and being level 2 helps. But here comes the Land Raider. Yeah, they barely survived it. Just the 2 squad leaders survived. It says 2 models. Where's the other one? Oh, it's over there. 298 to 134. 2-to-1 cap for the guard. Ogrins have done a lot of good heavy lifting. Really helped against the double Assault Marines. Now it's Assault Marines and Vanguard veterans though. I wonder if they'll become Bullgrins. That would be awesome for them. Able to suppress the 2 Assault Squad units. The Vanguard veterans are a lot more dangerous offensively. Might go down here though. Wow, they got close to going down. How do they have 2 models on 73 hit points? Force Commander's going to fall over though, which means a bigger buff from the Sacred Standard. Up to 40%, but of course your Force Commander can't do anything. So we have some Terminators from Zeno. Deathwing Terminators, because they're Dark Angels, and they're cool like that. Can they get the VP? Because they kind of need it. They're going to dip below 100 VPs soon. Primaris Psyker doing stuff. Uh-oh. Double anti-armor stormtroopers on the Dreadnought. These guys getting very low. And those guys got barraged and they got taken down. I think they saved the Dreadnought there. Very quick thinking on that barrage. And they came in to support it. Predator tank on the field for Demon. It's a tank that shoots things. It's good at its job. It should do decently around here. It's relatively open, I think. Typically want to avoid tracked vehicles on cramped maps because they can get into weird pathing situations, let's say. Space Marines going for the blue team's natural. In fact, they might get a triple cap here. Are these guys going to get... well, nothing at the moment. They might be waiting to see if vehicles appear. Stone Guard veterans. Are they... oh, they're not retreating back to the Land Raider. They haven't set the Land Raider as a retreat point, it seems. Zeno. Sentinel has a look. Backs away. Techmarine on repair duty here. Is there no scouts around to repair? I guess not. There's some up here. We do have Bullgrins. Uh-oh. But now we have Assault Terminators. And they're not going to get suppressed by User Shield. And they're tough as hell, not to mention heavy melee Demon Hammer... Thunder Hammers, not Demon Hammers. Yeah. Bullgrins can't stand up to all 3 of those guys. And if they get claws, then forget about it. 249 to 84. Uncle Taxfraud surprised, annoyed that they were able to get Terminators up that quickly with the amount of infantry they have and thus upkeep. Down goes a tank. 233 to 84. Kashyyykin on the way for Taxfraud, most likely with plasma guns. Not sure that's going to be enough though. That was a really good stomp from the Tenso. Holy crap, level 4 Sentinel. Triple cap now from the Space Marines. Can they stop this tide of power armor? Cyclone missile launcher just destroyed a bunker over there. And they're just going into base, apparently. Uh-oh. Excruciators, they got a sail on these Terminators. Have they used their teleport? Okay, they got away with the teleport. That was insanely risky from oLev, though. Without a librarian around. Because the Inquisitor can really mess up Terminators. A sail being one of the things they can use. Inferno Pistol will also do really good damage to them. This Land Raid is really far forward as well. What is it up to? Don't they have a las cannon? Where is it? I guess the las cannon's been destroyed. Here comes a Stormlord. Rocket run to try and finish off the Land Raider. Didn't quite get it. Is that another one? That is another one. That's going to completely miss, though. Oh, maybe not the second run. Second run was pretty good. Terminators are getting quite low. Can the Guard counterattack? That was a costly push from the Red Space Marine team. And the needless push, I think. They got really cocky. I think Uncle Taxfraud has gone to decap their natural as well with the Lord General. Terminator is able to reinforce off the Land Raider. Primarius Psycho goes down. They are both now gone. 1-to-1 cap. And a Stormlord is on the field. Can reinforce off this thing, can get inside of it. It does not give you health regen though. And it's got some incredibly powerful anti-infantry weaponry. That Vulcan Mega Bolter will tear apart even Terminators. Not so effective against vehicles though, but here come anti-armor stormtroopers. This Dreadnought's been really good, eh? Look at that damage there. That was nasty. There's Judgment up on those guys. There is a sail. Las Cannon is set up, and it's being buffed by the Sacred Standard. Is it getting shots? There we go, it is getting shots. Stormlord should have decent repair support. Heavy turret goes up now. Missile launcher Sentinel 2, massive fight here. Techmarine falls. Land Raider's quite low. Big frag assault and a bunch of infantry there. Las Cannon getting a bunch of free shots on the Stormlord, but they are repairing it. Assault squad jumping in. They don't have their melter bomb though, those guys. Another Predator tank. Vanguard veterans go after the heavy turret. Those Vanguard veterans do have a power fist, and they jump again into Bullgrids. Las Cannon's now shooting the heavy turret down. Should be able to get it done. Can the Bullgrids push against the Land Raider? Tank getting really far forward, eh? The Guards still have the central VP. Do they have their natural? They do. And something's decapping here, some Stormtroopers. Oh, we got some Lightning Claw Assault Terminators now. Guys, they got the decap. They got the decap. They won't last much longer, though. They need to flee. Lightning Claws don't mess around. 2 Predator tanks here from Demon. The Tenso with a las cannon. Oh. Oh. The VPs have run out. Looks like Demon was caught by surprise as well. The Imperial Guard win it. And well done Uncle Taxfraud getting his decaps up here. Made a big difference, I think. Well, there we go. Bit of an abrupt ending. Space Marines were certainly in a position to put up a hell of a fight, but they neglected the VPs. These guys were trying to cap it, but even if they did... Well, they were trying to decap it, sorry. Even if they did decap it, it still would have been a single, because they didn't have this one. So there you have it. A fun and frantic game with an abrupt ending. Level 4 Lord Commissar, Level 6 Inquisitor, a Level 3 Lord General, Level 3 Force Commander down at the end, Level 5 Techmarine, no war gear for Demon. Spent a lot of time repairing, I think, which is fair enough, and a Level 6 Techmarine down at the end, Zeno. Thank you for watching, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war, and the Tenso for running these lobbies and getting these replays to me. I'll see you guys next time.